We're at the Majesco Entertainment booth here at E3 and we're having a look at a reimagined classic. Dude, tell us about it. Double Dragon Neon, what do we need to know?
Well, you nailed it with reimagination. It is not an HD upgrade, it is not the same game you played before. It's more of a love letter to the franchise and the 80s. This is for every kid of the 80s and every fan of old school brawlers. We've put this nice little package of just gold for you.
Okay, and how does it look? How does it play?
It plays like an old school brawler, a little more sped up. The characters are enormous compared to what they look like in the last game. The art is tight. It's by a guy named Genzo Man, really popular dude online. And it's just this really gorgeous, fun, over-the-top 80s love letter. It's sick.
And reimagining the original then, does it keep the same move sets, keeps it stripped down and everything like that, or have you improved, tweaked here or there?
So we're actually reimagining the whole franchise. So it's not one, it's not two, it's not three, it's not any one of those. Lots of elements of all of them are thrown in for nostalgia. It's an all new game on its own. The core is there. She gets kidnapped, you have to go save her, big bad guy to take down, maybe you fight each other at the end. But
that was going to be my question, yeah.
Maybe you fight each other, it would make sense. We do have friendly fire on-off, so you can fight each other whenever you want, really. So anyway, the bottom line, it's a reimagining in the sense that we wanted to give you a new experience, but make it feel like Double Dragon. And that's kind of where our hearts were, and that's what I think the game is.
How do you go about developing that? How do you go about projecting that idea, the amalgamation of those two bits?
Sean Velasco from WayForward, the lead designer, is an absolute nutcase, and I mean that in the nicest way possible. He watched Big Trouble in Little China way too much while writing the design doc, and it shows. So between the love of this game and getting the mechanics and the feel to the look and aesthetic, you can tell it's from a sick mind of someone who watched way too much Kurt Russell and Kim Cattrall.
I was going to ask about the Neon tagline. Is it just a lot of spandex in it, or is this electric boogaloo?
A little bit of both. You know, we looked at the game when they first started sending builds, and we started looking, and we couldn't think of a better name based on the look and the colors and the feel. It's just neon. It's bright. So we stuck with it. It worked.
And what is the sort of art style you guys are going for? Because seeing obviously not a completely new version of Double Dragon, but when we see these classics being reinterpreted for the modern generation, the art style has this beautiful rich quality to it. How have you guys approached that?
It's got I'd say it's sort of an anime vibe. I'm sure, I can't remember the guy's name, somebody at WayForward was a big fan of Genzo Man, followed his work, huge DeviantArt following, and reached out to him and said, hey, you want to do work for a video game? Genzo Man got really excited and got to work. So it's got his very distinct style. If you look at his DeviantArt page, you'll see where this is coming from. But he gave it its own little touch and respected the franchise as well. So everything is recognizable, but at the same time, very unique.
And a big thing of side-scrolling brawlers is the music. You've got to have that tempo kicking in to make you work through the level. What sort of music background with this?
You have no idea.
Tell me.
Jake Kaufman goes by the name of Vert, did most of the music for all the WayForward games as well as a lot of other games. Went into the studio, remade a bunch of Double Dragon songs that you'll love. He went and redid them in a much heavier, cleaner sound. And then he wrote a bunch of songs, some of them with lyrics. And I can't tell you how amazing they are. I just got them this weekend to listen to myself for the first time. They're amazing 80s ballads, rock anthems, heavy, crunchy metal, and the lyrics are gold. It feels like a Karate Kid theme song, but it's got its own Double Dragon touch to it.
Now, talking about the levels and everything, how many stages are there? How does the campaign play?
There are 10 large levels over 5 unique areas. It's a reasonably long game, and there are 3 difficulty levels. You're going to want to beat it on the hardest, and because of our new mixtape system, which I'll tell you about in a sec there, you're going to be unlocking new abilities and powering up, and wanting to do that in the hard difficulty to see if you can hack it.
Okay, a mixtape?
So yeah, it's the 80s. You know, it's neon. We're definitely embracing that. So we decided we had an extra button on the controller. What are we going to do with it? We give you a power-up, right? For instance, in this demo, we actually have a fireball. But what you do is you have 2 sides to your mixtape. Side A is your actual moves and abilities that you can assign. one per side, but you can change it whenever you want based on what's going on. Side B is more passive abilities. It's more like a buff. So we can give you increased health, increased defense, speed, or your special ability can get increased as well. And you can change that again on the fly. You pick those up as songs throughout the game. When you add a song, you can assign the song to your mixtape. And on top of that, we have a guy named the Tapesmith. He's this, kind of old sensei type character who's hanging out in shops throughout the game. You collect money, you can upgrade your songs on your tape from him and keep building your character.
All right, well, where can people play it? When can they play it?
Xbox Live Arcade or PSN, your choice, and it'll be available before the end of this summer.
Listen, thank you very much indeed for the time. Look forward to it.